Hey, how's it going? This is Josh from Books by Josh, and this is the introduction for a new series I'm starting, which is I read books to you guys. So, what book do I have? Well, I have a very special book, one of the most important books in my life. My own book, Private Eye, The First Adventure of Jason Street, by Joshua A. Rodriguez, me. So, this book, let me give you guys some backstory. Some, It's the first adventure of Jason Street, which is a character I created about 12 years ago, and it's a modern take on the classic detective novel, such as the Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew, things of that nature. So, let me read the back of the book. Jason Street and Ryan Barnes solved any case that was thrown their way. The NYPD deemed most of the cases as unsolvable. Yet, the two detectives proved them wrong time after time. Life was good for the young detectives. They had just finished wrapping up another big case and even had a new office. But one case was about to put the detectives to the test. Can Jason and Ryan solve the case while their backs are to the wall? Or will the pressure riding on this case cause them to falter? Hey, that's the back of the book. So, I'm going to dive into this book, and it's a free reading for you guys. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll talk to you guys after I'm done reading the first chapter. Preface. As a child, I was always fascinated by the wonders of books. One genre that I enjoyed very much was the mystery genre. I enjoyed them so much that I began creating my own short stories. To this day, I still have in my possession the notebook in which I wrote them in. As my reading comprehension matured, so did my eagerness to continue reading. Looking back, I feel if I had never picked up that first mystery novel, then I may have not discovered the adventures of reading. I wrote this book with the expectation that I too could influence young readers and captivate them in the joys and benefits of reading. I first began writing this book in early 2009 and completed it after many years of constructing the perfect mystery novel. Most of my ideas from when I began writing were scrapped because I thought it too dark for younger adults. I made it my goal to write a book that was suitable for all ages. I intended on making this book into a series. Chapter 1. Jason Street strikes down crime once again. Read more about this heated tale on page 9. Jason read out loud for his partner to hear. Page 9, they can't be serious, he said as he scrolled through the newspaper quickly. Holy crap, we are on page 9. Can you believe this, Ryan? I hear you, Jason. You know it's not the first time we've been featured in the newspaper. Ryan was looking out the window, enjoying the view. The sun was shining hard on the city. All the cars below were reflecting the sunlight. It made him feel like he was looking directly at the sun, but he didn't want to look away. The view was beautiful to him and well worth straining his eyes. Jason turned around in his chair to look at him. You're sightseeing again. I guess you really want to be the first blind detective. Don't worry, my healthcare will cover it. My eyes still hurt from the last time I was curious and decided to see what you were so fond of. Man, do I regret it. It takes very little effort to squint your eyes. If you need to squint your eyes to look, then I don't think it's worth looking. What's so special about the view anyway? It's just a bunch of cars. I like the way the city looks from up here. Besides, it's sunny today. The weather has been other crap this past week. But it's the same view every day. I will admit it does change the way you see the city. Yeah, the city looks a lot more peaceful. The view is a bit overrated. Just take a picture of it and put it on your desk. I still think it was a mistake to move our office here. Why? We have an office in the city now. The rent is not that expensive. That's all true. But this office is also 20 stories up. What if the elevator breaks down? Do you think our clients will climb up all those stairs? If the elevator's not working, I'm not coming in. There's also almost no room in here. Jason, for the price we are paying, we can't complain. Sometimes you have to cut some corners to get what you want. Please elaborate. Turn to page 9 and you'll see what I mean. Jason picked up the newspaper back up and opened it. What about page 9? They wrote about us. Unbelievable. I smashed through 2 glass panes to catch the criminal, and this is all I get? The case was at least page 3 worthy, but we got stuck on page 9. At least we got the murderer, Jason. I'm just happy that he'll get what he deserves. You know my motto. We put them away, that's what we do. Jason, you know what I always say. Your motto sucks. Yeah, whatever, it'll grow on you. By the way, what time is it right now? It's like 3 p.m. Why? Shouldn't those painters be here by now? Soon we'll have clients barging through the door. We can't have this place looking like this bad for long. Their new office was some piece of work. Not only was it small, but it was also hard on the eyes. The condition of the walls was so bad that Jason had to hire painters to paint them. The only furniture in the office was a couple of chairs, a desk, and a couch that Ryan brought from his house. Their old office was bigger and better in every way possible, but since their work didn't require much space or fancy rooms, they moved. Big cases were always coming their way, so they decided to get an office in the middle of the city. Jason began to read the article out loud. A talented young detective, Jason Streak, has yet again solved an impossible case. With the help of his partner, he was able to solve the case. What seemed to be an unsolved murder turned out to be nothing more than a cakewalk for these talented young detectives. This case required more than brainpower. Jason pursued accused Kevin Brown across town. During the chase, Jason had to jump through a glass pane just to stop the perpetrator. Jason slammed the paper down on his table. It was two glass panes. Can't these people get anything right? Jason stammered in disbelief. The media likes to twist things around, Ryan said while gazing out the window. Jason picked up the paper and continued reading the article out loud. This isn't the first time that the NYPD deemed unsolvable that the young detectives managed to crack. When asked, Commissioner Pavel Anosov had this to say. It's great to see that there are young people willing to take action keeping our city safe. I feel that their influence will be beneficial for the police department. Jason stopped reading and looked up from the newspaper. Suddenly, the sounds of nails on the chalkboard filled the room as the door to the office opened. Beautiful young woman wearing an oversized red hat looked in. Excuse me, where can I find Jason Street? Jason stood up, cleared his throat, and started walking towards her. I'm Jason Street, he said, while extending his arm. Oh, her face looked perplexed as she shook Jason's hand. Is something wrong? I mean, of course, something is wrong. Why else would you come to a detective agency? It's just that your expression shows some sort of concern. I guess what I've been reading about you is true. Truly, you are a master detective, she said with a smile. I just didn't expect you to be this tall. In my case, the camera sheds a few inches. Have a seat, so that we can chat. He points to the chair and led her to it. She sat down, putting her purse on the desk. She also noticed that Jason was reading the paper. Checking your horoscopes, detective? It says that I will meet a beautiful young woman today. Hopefully my horoscopes is as good as yours, detective, she said as she shot Jason a smile. I'm actually just reading about a recent case that we solved. People love reading this kind of junk. Write anything down and someone is bound to believe it. Are you saying that I shouldn't trust the media's opinion of you? That depends. What does the media say about me? Well, let's see. Master detective, a genius, no unsolved cases, always happy to lend a hand, and a master detective. You said master detective twice. From what I hear, you are very good at what you do. So, Jason, tell me, is the media right about you? Even though they sometimes get certain details incorrect, they seem to paint a decent picture of me. Ryan sat down on the couch. You mean details of you and your little Hollywood chase? He commented while scrolling through his notebook trying to find a blank page. Jason looked at him and smiled. That's my partner, Ryan. For some reason, he's also my best friend. That's me, all right, Ryan said without lifting his head from his notebook. The news did mention that you had a partner. I'm guessing that's you, Ryan. Did they say anything good about me? Ryan asked. He looked up from his notebook. She took a moment to remember. Not really. They just mentioned that Jason had a partner. They failed to mention your name. Ryan laughed. Don't worry, that's the life of a sidekick. Jason interrupted their little chat. Public perceptions aside, I still don't know your name. Jessica. Jessica Holmes. Nice to meet you, Jessica, Jason said. So, are you a well-known figure yourself? No, I'm just a regular girl in need of some help. Well, you've come to the right place. Good to know, she smiled. Jessica, so what brings you in today? What sort of problems are you having? Nothing really. This might sound a bit stupid, but I don't feel safe. That doesn't sound stupid to me. Why don't you feel safe? Asked Jason, who was now sitting at the edge of his seat. There's this guy that's been following me. I think he might be a stalker. Well, I can see why he would take an interest in you, Jason blurted out without thinking. I'm sorry if I made you feel uncomfortable with that comment. I didn't mean it like that. We just happen to get these type of cases a lot. Jessica couldn't help but laugh at his comment. She was aware of the fact that she was a beautiful woman. So, should I go on? Of course. Share any information that you think might be of use. Whenever I go to the mall to get coffee, I see him. I don't know how long he's been doing this, but I noticed him about 2 weeks ago. Are you writing this down, Ryan? Jason asked him. No, I'm just drawing cartoons. Of course I'm writing this down, Ryan answered sarcastically. Sorry, do go on, Jason said. She nodded, feeling somewhat uncomfortable. Talk about this matter brought many unpleasant ideas to her head. What if this person planned to kidnap her, or they wanted to rape her? She hated thinking about it, but she knew that if she hired Jason, he would definitely help her. About 2 weeks ago, I began to notice a hooded figure with a camera. At first, I thought little of it, but recently, wherever I go in the mall, he is there. Tried asking the security officers at the mall for help. They just laughed at me and told me to solve my domestic problems like an adult. Jessica began to sob a bit. I don't know what to do anymore. Jason wanted to press on for more information, but decided against it. Don't worry, I fully understand your situation. I will also be terrified if I was in your shoes. With those few words the client calmed down a bit and reached for a tissue. To get a better grasp of your situation, I need a little bit of information, such as a description of the person. I never got a good look at his face, but what I do know is he always wears a hooded sweater. Whenever I see him, he's always wearing dark colors. That really not hurts down on this subject. Ryan snickered. Do you have any idea who this person might be? Jason said as he gave Ryan a dirty look. Is there someone that will want to harm you like an ex-lover? None that I can think of, she said reluctantly. Look, Jessica, when we started out, these cases were a dime a dozen. In almost every case, the client tells us the truth. They all just happen to leave out a couple of key details. So, Jessica, is there anything that you're forgetting? Well, there was one thing. A couple of days ago, I found a couple of pictures in my mailbox. She said while looking after you. What kind of photos were they? You did mention that this person had a camera, Jason asked as he stood up. They were candid photos of me. Some of the photos were taken at the mall, but some... She paused. Her eyes began to water. Some were taken of me at home. So we're dealing with a stalker. Jessica, can you leave your phone number and address? My address and my phone number, is that all? What will you do now? I'm going to formulate a plan of action. Actually, I have a meeting that I must get to, but this case is my top priority. That I can assure you. Okay. So when shall I expect to hear from you? Very soon. Don't you worry about anything, Jessica. These things happen every day. My partner and I always exceed our clients' expectations. That's what we do. I do hope you can exceed my expectations, she said as she picked up her bag and stood up. 212-233? 5727 is my number. I live on 1727 Cardinal Avenue. I'll be expecting your call, Mr. Street. She shot Jason a warm smile as she walked towards the door. The detectives couldn't resist checking her out as she walked out the office. A tight red dress that matched her gigantic hat highlighted her figure perfectly. You got her number written down, Ryan? Yep, I have her digits written down right here, Ryan said as he pointed at his notebook. She said Cardinal Avenue, right? Yeah, she said Cardinal Avenue. Why? Ryan, it seems that we have another important case to solve. Did you just say that we have another important case to solve? Ryan looked at him confused. Don't tell me you're actually going to take this case. Why wouldn't we take this case? Jason said, while taking Ryan's notebook from his hands. He quickly flipped to the page with Jessica's information. He made sure that he added her to the contact list on his phone, and he tossed back the notebook. Jason, we deal with actual crimes now. Since when did we start taking these type of cases again? Ryan, we started taking these type of cases when we signed up to be detectives. Are you honestly telling me you felt nothing from the story Jason asked? Jason, we both know what you felt had nothing to do with this case. You just wanted a reason to spend time with her. True, but it's a simple stalker case. You know this case will be a walk in the park. Can you really blame a guy for wanting to spend time with that? Jason, she is smoking hot, but don't let that cloud your judgment. This case sounds easy, but I'm sick of all these kind of cases. I want us to put real criminals away. She should just call her brother or boyfriend to solve this giant mystery. Who said you'll be wasting any of your precious time on this case? This case is being worked on by yours truly. She did come in looking for me, you know. Sure, whatever. Have fun on your little romantic case, but be quick. Who knows when the real case might show up. Don't worry, Ryan. This case will be done in a jiffy. Jason opened up his desk drawer, grabbed his wallet. I'm heading out for a bit. Make sure to let the painters in when they show up. Going on a date already? Ryan snickered. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm just meeting with an old friend. And that's the end of chapter 1, guys. I know I messed up a little bit here and there, but I tried my best. It's my first time. It was actually my 5th take. I actually tried bring a couple of voices in, make the dialogue interesting, but I couldn't. So I tried to emphasize on the dialogue, so it was actually interesting. And I gave it emotion, because by me reading in the monotone voice, Jason strikes down crime once again. No, it gets boring. What did you guys still have excitement as much as I did while writing and reading out loud to you guys? So let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of this. If you enjoyed it, give me some points, tips. I know I'm not the greatest, but it's my first time. And I'm going to try to get this book done. How many chapters is this? This is, I think 13 chapters. Yep, 13 chapters. So, try to get it done before the end of April. That way, you guys can actually hear my book for free. So, if you enjoyed, let me know. If you didn't, let me know. And I'll catch you guys in the next part. See ya.